The speech was very partisan, and to me it was very shameful. And, you'd think that African Americans, they have more abortions against black children than white, Hispanic, and all of them put together. They have the majority of abortions. And then you would think that they would be against bringing people over here, knowing that some of them are going to be victims of human trafficking on the southern border. And they continue to justify bringing illegals into this country, bypassing law, even flying them over here. And you would think that they would be more for protecting people's lives than they are allowing such immigration invasion in every place. But Florida arrested 228, and they say 13 potential victims were rescued involving human trafficking. Epic Times has an article about that. I want to play that now. I think human trafficking is one of the worst things. Not as, abortion is the worst, but human trafficking is horrible. And, individuals becoming sex slaves, whatever other kind of slaves you can imagine. I know MSNBC and Rachel Maddow was making fun of the 14-year-old that was assaulted and raped by an illegal. And, I guess it's supposed to be comical. Is that the right word? But the word should be horrible. A person that has been violated will never get over it. They will live with it. They will tolerate their feelings and the depression and all the other things that go with it. But they'll never get over it. The nightmare, the trauma, the post-traumatic stress disorder, they'll never get over it. And yet we allow it, and in this case, in Florida, human trafficking sting that led to 228 arrests. Let's listen to the Epic Times.
Florida human trafficking sting leads to 228 arrests, 13 potential victims rescued. Almost 230 people were arrested, and 13 potential victims were rescued in a Florida human trafficking sting dubbed Operation March Sadness 2024. At a March 5th press conference, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd announced the bust of a human trafficking operation on the west side of the county in Lakeland that led to 228 arrests and the rescue of 13 potential victims. The Polk County Sheriff's Department was assisted by police departments in Lakeland, Haines City, Davenport, Auburndale, Lake Hamilton, and the Winter Haven Fire and Rescue. According to a March 5th press release, the 8-day-long undercover human trafficking operation began on February 22nd and targeted suspects involved in illegal acts related to soliciting prostitutes, offering to commit prostitution, or aiding and abetting prostitutes. The 228 arrests consisted of 66 prostitutes, 50 Johns, and 12 others, Sheriff Judd said. This time we identified 13 potential victims of human trafficking, he added, saying his department has identified 58 potential victims of human trafficking in 1 year through these operations. The significance, he said, was that this is the most ever they have been able to identify. Sheriff Judd also noted that 48 of those arrested were from Polk County, saying they should know better. We talk about this, he explained. We don't hide it, and if you don't know about it, you obviously live under a rock. So, you've had to learn the hard way. For the rest, he offered a warning. This is not the last operation, he advised. We'll have more, and we'll give you the opportunity to be arrested if you're stupid enough to show up. That's a guarantee. Of those arrested, 42 are married. One was a commercial pilot. There were members of the Air Force, sports coaches, law enforcement officers, and people in the medical profession. Some were teachers. 2 minors were arrested. They came down to rob us, Sheriff Judd said, adding that they came armed with a BB gun that looked like a real gun. That could have gone really bad for them, he said. A total of 17 firearms were confiscated from 15 different suspects, and 44 had possession of narcotics. Addicted to this cash. One of the men arrested was handling 3 illegal immigrant females from Venezuela for the head of a sex trafficking ring they believe is female. She sets up their appointments. She puts their ads online. She tells them where to go, Sheriff Judd explained, adding that the 3 victims had to pay her $3,000 apiece by the end of the week as a means of paying off their debt. Sheriff Judd then said that the 3 victims told law enforcement that when they came to the United States illegally, DHS gave them a form and ID paperwork that allows them to fly for free. So, while the 3 sex workers operate out of New York, they said they fly to major metropolitan areas for free on the federal government, where they set up their appointments for sex all around the country. Sheriff Judd said all 21 of the illegal immigrants told a similar story regarding their involvement in the sex trafficking scheme. "We can't work legally," he recalled them saying. "We're addicted to this cash. It's a lot of cash and it's quick, so we have to give $3,000 a week. We get to keep everything above that. We have a crisis at the border," Sheriff Judd asserted, "and because of the crisis at the border, we have people that are victimizing illegal folks, forcing them into the sex trade because we allow these criminals in the country illegally." Sheriff Judd also addressed headlines claiming that illegal immigrants aren't committing crime at any greater percentage than the people who are here legally. "What they didn't tell you, if they weren't here illegally at all, the crime they would commit here would be 0, he noted. So, we're being victimized. On June 3, 2022, the Florida legislature passed House Bill 615, creating a new duty for the statewide Council on Human Trafficking, which is to determine how many times social media platforms are used to assist, facilitate, or support human trafficking within the Sunshine State. To fulfill this requirement, the SCHT conducted a statewide survey of Florida's 80 law enforcement agencies to record the number of times social media platforms were used to facilitate human trafficking operations, or control victims since 2019. According to the 2023 annual report, they discovered that 72 human trafficking instances were recorded using Facebook, 65 through Instagram, 5 through WhatsApp, and 4 by using Facebook Messenger. The Epoch Times reached out to the PCSD to find out if Operation March Sadness 2024 had been conducted through online social media platforms. While PCSD confirmed that the sting operation was conducted online, PCSD spokesperson Carrie Horseman said, "We don't typically release information about which specific sites are used during our undercover investigations. Our message is for parents to monitor their children's activities online, have all of their logins and passwords, and check their accounts regularly," she added, providing a link to resources parents can use to protect their children from online predators. Don't allow them to be friends online with people who are strangers, and don't allow just anyone to follow them.
Well, I tell you what, if you watch the campaign speech, I'm calling it again the campaign speech because that's what it was. Well, it was supposed to be the, a lecture and leadership for the country.
Continue on Tennessee 68.
It's called the State of the Union Address. But anyway, it says that the victims told law enforcement that they came to the United States illegally. Department of Homeland Security gave them a form and ID paperwork that allows them to fly for free. You think I need to repeat that? While the 3 sex workers operate out of New York, they said they fly to major metropolitan areas, remember, for free, on the federal government, where they set up their appointments for sex all around the country. He said Sheriff Judd said all 21 of the illegal immigrants, again emphasizing illegal immigrants, sex trafficking, told a similar story regarding their involvement in sex trafficking scheme. They say we can't work legally, we're addicted to the cash. It's a lot of cash. It's quick, so we have to give $3,000 a week. We get to keep up everything above that. In the meantime, our communities continue to fill up with these illegals, all kinds of booze, all kinds of drugs, and courts are full. And so when you arrest these people, what do you do with them? Who takes the tab? Of course, the American citizen does, and it's taxpayer. Anyway, that's some of the things that we don't know if they're still safe. I think that Democrats, a few, are starting to wake up. But look at that bunch last night. Just look at them. Look at them. They're destroying our country. But you're welcome to tell it like it is. Like to hear what you have to say. If you want to, 8888. Talk about that on radio, but the trafficking, sex trafficking in Florida, that's what they call the Sunshine State. And then these illegals telling us what the government's done for them. Unbelievable. Let's hear what this caller will say. Thanks for calling. Hello.
Good morning, Brother Dave.
Morning.
In that report, it's bad also here about our military guys, that's staff sergeant and airman, last airman, man. I don't know the solution to this border problem. I don't think we're going to have no control of that until we get rid of Biden and his office. God bless you, brother. Have a good day.
All right, thanks for calling. I believe you're right.
A lot of people angry. They're just letting them come in and giving them stuff they don't even get to give to disabled veterans, setting them up at hotels, flying them around with our money. Our money. To me, that's a form of treason. You're treating the foreigners who are breaking the law better than your own people.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Say that. It's treason. And you watch the president and the vice president, it's just it's not only treason, it's a mockery. It's a mockery of what is right. And I was listening to Crosstalk. Appreciate a lot of you folks calling in to Crosstalk yesterday afternoon. A lot from Kentucky and Ohio and West Virginia. And they ask about what is the message. Well, I think what you see, and you're not going to like what I say, but what you're seeing is the judgment of God come upon this nation. And at the same time, he told us to occupy till he comes. We have to fight for freedom. And you've got people in every arena, including preachers, that don't like this country. Anyway, I'd rather hear what you have to say. 800